Hey guys, so yesterday was probably one of the worst days of my life. I mean, I'm exaggerating, of course I am. It wasn't that bad. In retrospect, it wasn't that bad. But I spent all day trying to publish the graphic novel. And it's one of the hardest things I've ever done, publishing books. I mean, if you publish an ebook, right, on Amazon, it's pretty straightforward. It's quite simple. But as soon as you start going into the paperbacks, and when you do a paperback that's a funny shape, which I have done and now sort of halfway regret, I've done them square, 8.5-inch square. And the reason I did that is because I wanted to do something that was unusual, would look great on a coffee table, but wasn't too big. And 8.5 inches isn't that big. So, you know, it all kind of worked. I felt it all kind of worked. The pages are black and they're, you know, rich with illustrations. I'm an artist, obviously it's going to be rich with illustrations. But the e-Kindle ones are much less illustrative. You get like one picture. I think literally one picture, an edition. And only about 6 pages. So they're not, you know, they're not overwhelmingly filled with wonderful stuff. I am actually going to do those as paperbacks though, because I want an easy option for the paperbacks too. So how collectible will they be? I don't know. But you have to think about all these things, all the different formats. How am I going to do such and such? Should I do it in, 8x5? Should I do it square? Should I do it A4? Should I do it this? Should I do it that? And it's just bloody endless. Anyway, when you do a picture-rich publication on Amazon, Kindle Publishing, KDP, you need to do the bleed version. And this is so boring. I mean, I'm bored telling you. But it's necessary if you want to publish a book with lots of images, like a graphic novel. So there was a problem with that because I couldn't... The button that said bleed, full bleed, wasn't clicking on the process. And I spent hours over this. So eventually I had to sort of go in and completely restart from scratch. And then it let me do the bleed. But then, guys, and how ridiculous is this? I had to add so much of a millimetre onto the width and then so much of another millimetre onto the height. And it was quite difficult to find this information. I wasn't automatically linked to it. So by the end of the day, my neck was so tense and the pain was burning, guys, burning pain. And I had to overdose practically on all my painkillers and all my other stuff. And the day before I'd had this eye bloody infection, probably caused by the pastel, for the drawing, the nude. And I suddenly felt yesterday, I thought, my work is... okay. I've got side effects from my job. I might as well be down a bloody mine. I might as well be dealing with asbestos. God almighty. What a bloody awful day. Anyway, I finally got it up. There's bound to be mistakes. There's bound to be. But I just couldn't be bothered. I thought, I'm just going to get it up. I'm going to order myself a copy. Make my mother order one. She promised she would. As soon as it's live. It's not come up live yet. It's publishing. That's what it says. So I reckon today it'll be up today. Look, it's a thing of beauty. Of course it is. But 17 pictures. I mean, that's a lot. Now, there's only 4 little chapters of the actual book, but I want to do an image-rich publication because the kids aren't reading. The kids have forgotten how to read. The kids are not owning books, and I thought, well, I need to address that. Kids need books, and I've put 13 and up. I think that's pretty good. There's nothing too horrific in it, and there's nothing too sexual in it. You know, little bits of very slight titillation and suggestion, nothing else. So, and the language is reasonably simple. So, you know, young adults. I can't imagine my mum's going to enjoy it, but she's 80. But I mean, I hope she does enjoy it. Oh, I've got to plug myself in because my battery's going. So, she absolutely promised me. Have I got to stick it in there? That's it. As the actress said to the bishop, guys, where do I stick it? There we go. So yes, I don't know. I don't know until things are being, out there for a bit longer, and I find out who's collecting them, who's interested in, the inner workings of a bloody retired dominatrix. I was never a dominatrix. Don't take that seriously. I sort of was in a way. I was an artistic performance artist who used the dominatrix as a channel. I hope I've explained that correctly. But there was a lot of really over-the-top artwork. And that's also in a book. So I'm going to republish that book. But that was in the dominatrix was called Passion to Valentine. So it's a different name. I have to approach Amazon and see if I can, change the publication name. I don't know if I can. We shall see. And maybe I can. Maybe I'll just try it and see what happens. Could do, couldn't I? Yeah, I'll try that. I'll try that today. Because, it was of its time. And it's filled with saucy pictures. But not the sort of saucy pictures that you would expect because of, this influx of pornography that you have nowadays. It was all very arty-farty. At least I thought it was. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. It's hard to tell. So long ago. So much more publishing detritus has gone through my head since then. I can't even remember what the images were. I do. I remember some of them. I did an exhibition. So I'm still waiting for my printer ink. Mum says there are 2 packages for me, so maybe they went to her address. I can't remember. But if that's the case, I can produce more. I can produce the erotic art and myself and sign it. I think that's a good way of selling it, to be honest. So I'm a bit delirious today because on Sunday I had loads of antihistamines for the eye allergy. I don't know if it was an eye allergy. And I had loads of sleeping pills to help me get through the night. And I doubled up on my painkillers. So I've had 2 days of sort of drugs, narcotics. And I can feel what it's done to my body, and it's not good. I'm still tense. I'm still aggravated. And you just think, oh, no, have a day off. So I'm going to have a day off. And I'll just do some drawing later, some gentle drawing. And I'm going to play some cello in a minute. And, I should probably do a TikTok poem, shouldn't I? I'll do a TikTok poem today. I'll put some makeup on. And that'll be nice for us. So, yeah, that's it, I think. I don't think I can be bothered to talk anymore, guys. I'm so sorry. But I'm absolutely bloody bushed and I need a rest. So I'm going to go and rest. I'm also fasting because God, why am I doing this to myself? I went to Mum's on Sunday and we had a pudding that I've felt guilty about and horrified by ever since because it wasn't real Greek yoghurt. It was pretend Greek yoghurt and it had loads of additives. And now I've convinced myself that my body is going into shutdown because I had an additive. But she also gives me these bars, and I had one on Saturday, and then I had one in the week as well, and they're so full of additives and fake protein powder. It's the fake protein powder, isn't it? That is, does weird stuff to your body because your body can't process that. It's not very good for us. So I like clean protein, personally. So yeah, I've been really troubled by all this, and I noticed that my stomach was bloated. Now I don't know if that was fat bloat, or I'm speaking like someone with an eating disorder, an ordered diseating. I nearly said then. You see how delirious I am. So I wanted to fast for a little bit, so I'm just having a fast today. I'll eat later on this afternoon. I just want to cleanse, guys, really cleanse. Just cleanse everything. I feel polluted. I feel polluted with all this marketing crap and I feel polluted with the food that I've been eating. So today is all about, my tummy's rumbling actually. Today is all about just getting rid of everything, not doing anything more with my brain except playing music. Because when you play music, you go to a completely different level of consciousness. And it's a very nice one. Really, really nice. They've done studies on this. I'm not just talking bullshit. They've done studies, and it's a zone. And only music can give you this zone. And it makes you more creative, more able to do maths, which I really needed yesterday, working with this bleed rubbish. I should have just got a pen and paper and added up, but I was doing a mental arithmetic, which I was terrible at school, and I'm still terrible at. When you start introducing decimal points and you've got to add them up, do you know what I mean? Because it was so, I had to do it in millimetres because they were doing it in inches on Amazon, but my Pages software on my Mac was doing it all in millimetres. So I had to do conversions, and then I had to move the decimal point because it was converting to centimetres. I sort of knew about all that. I kind of remembered that. But then I had to add this, 3.6 millimetres on to 921 point. Do you know what I mean? And I was just doing it in my head, and I actually wanted to cry. It made me want to bloody cry. So, anyway, I'm going to do some music instead today. Just music, nothing else. But shall I do a live poem for you? I'll do a live poem on my TikTok, because people seem to like that. So I'll do a sexy poem, maybe, a rude one. See if that... Because the thing is, with the Marchioness of Dorchester, she's not rude in terms of saying, things like CUNT or COCK. I can't think of any other C words that I could spell out for you. She just does this suggestion type thing, which I actually think is more sexy. But then I'm an old lady, so what do I fucking know? Right, I'm going because I'm doing too much swearing on this broadcast. Back later, guys. No, back tomorrow probably. I'm going to have some time off and some detox, and maybe treat myself to... What can I treat myself to when I'm detoxing? Nothing. A nice bit of salmon, maybe. Which reminds me, I've got salmon in the freezer. I have to throw it out. Hello, gorgeous. How are you? I bought a job lot of fish at Iceland last week. And I thought, that's good. That'll last me a week. And my freezer is too inadequate to keep frozen. It's like a 2-inch freezer at the top of the fridge. And it doesn't freeze anything. So now I've got to throw it all out. Something else I've got to look forward to today. Putting out rubbish. Oh, God, my life. What's become of me? This is what writing books does. Making graphic novels. I've called it graphics, by the way. Graphics with an X. Immersion graphics. I thought that was quite nice. Right, bye.